Howdy folks, Big Mike from Inconsoft. Today I'm going to take you on a fairly quick tour of WP LikeMe, which is our new social media plugin for WordPress. You've probably seen some of these advertised as content lockers. That simply means that a visitor may have to click on a social media widget, for example the Facebook like button, to display premium content. WP LikeMe does do that. It supports Facebook, Twitter, and the newer Google Plus one, and you can use it strictly as a content locker if you want to. But while we were developing this, we realized we've got a very powerful application. Why not expand it so that you can use it for list building activities, getting offers in front of your visitors, anything you can think of. As long as you're creative with it, there's no limit to what you can do. Now quickly, let's take a look at the general settings. We'll start, you enter your registration key and your Facebook app ID, which Facebook requires in order for you to access their API or application programming interface. We'll show you how to do that in the help documentation. Once you've done that, you would click the Save Settings button, and then you would come back once the page reloads. And you have a choice. You can turn WP LikeMe on or off anytime you want. When it's off, of course, none of your messages will be displayed. One of the cool things about WP LikeMe are there are two ways that you can use it. You can use it on all pages, which means one message template, which is what we call this element over on the right, will be displayed on every page by default. Or if you want to create a bunch of different message templates, you can use them with shortcodes. You simply stick a shortcode on each page or post that you have, and it will load that specific message template. The next thing is we're going to come down here and look at how we work with message templates. By default, you can add a new template. You simply give it a name that you'll recognize and click the Save Changes button. You can also copy an existing template to cut down on your design time. You can delete an existing template, and you can see here these are the example templates that we made up for the sales and help documentation. I'm going to select this one, Social Targets, and now the page will reload, and over here you're going to see a very basic implementation of WP LikeMe. Now what happens is a visitor sees this. There is a thick box, or a light box if you prefer that term, in the background covering up some of your content. If the visitor clicks the like button, tweets about you, or clicks Google Plus one, then this will disappear, the thick box will close, and they can continue with your content. Now as I said, this is a very basic implementation. And let's go to the appearance page, and you can see now where we're designing this. We can control the height and the width. For example, let me change the height to 200, and it's expanded. I can change the width to 350, and again it's expanded even further. We have a choice with our corners. We can use a radius, which is supported by most modern browsers, or just square corners, just like that. Now, another cool thing are the colors. You can change the border color, you can put in a hexadecimal code, or just click in it and a color selector will drop down for you to choose your colors from. You can set the border width. We can make this as thick as we want or as thin as we want. And for this particular one, I decided 3 was good. We can change the border style. We can make it dashed if we want to, or dotted. And this one I want to keep solid. Again, background color, another color selector. If you have an image you want to use as your background, that's easy. You just paste it in there, click outside, and there's that particular one. Of course, it's a little too wide and the image is repeating. So I'll make that 300. Okay. And now we have a nice background image that we can use. You can choose what fonts you want to use if you're going to display a message. We've added some web-safe fonts that work great in all browsers. You can choose the font size, again the color of the font. Okay, you can add some styles, bold, italic, and underline. Down here, this is a very important part of WP. The message text box allows you to use HTML, CSS. You can create things that you would put on a normal web page and actually paste them in here to work. I'm going to just very quickly put in a simple phrase, WP like me, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play with it. I'm going to just show you. You can make it 24 point. We can make the color anything we want. A really ugly bright green maybe that doesn't show up too well. There we go, it's red. Okay, we can change the font, Times New Roman, MS Trebuchet, anything that you want to do. We can make it bold, we can underline, make it italic, we can underline it. The other cool thing is, if we want to use HTML, we can just come in and put some basic HTML tags and click out here. Now you can see that Like Me is bolder than the WP part. So anything that you can't do with all of these controls, you can accomplish in the message text box using HTML and CSS to finely tune your design. Now we're going to go to the behavior control, and this is where you control what your visitor does. We can add or remove social targets, and you'll notice that without any social targets, WP Like Me popped way up to the top. So now you can use this for something else. For example, a special offer or list building, and I'll show you a couple of those before I wrap up the video. We can change the lightbox opacity, for example, make it 100%. You can't see a thing. Make it 80%. You can just barely see the background text. And of course, you can change the color to anything that you want just by opening up that color selector and picking a new color. You're not limited just to gray. Next is the delay in loading. How long do you want to wait until your message template actually displays to the user? Maybe you want to let them get into your content, give them 30 seconds, and then this will open up and they have to respond. You can set it to 0 and it will load immediately and display. The next control determines how long this message template is going to be displayed to the visitor. Now, you can do it for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, or if you want it displayed permanently, just set it to 999 and it will not automatically close and disappear. You could set the number of cookies you want, the number of days that will elapse before the cookie expires. So if a user clicks the Facebook like button, 30 days later that'll expire and then they'll see this again. If you want to add a close button to it, you can. Okay, there's close. And if a visitor clicks that, or if they take no action, which means it times out, you also have a choice of setting a one-day cookie if you don't want to keep nagging your visitors. So once it's gone for that day. If they come back, they'll see it again and get another chance to do it. Here's one of the more powerful features of it, and these are the two redirects. You can redirect a visitor based on them clicking something or based on not clicking, which means either it timed out or they clicked the close button. Now in this case, for the example, when they click one of the social media widgets, they get redirected back to the sales page. But that's just an example. Let me go back to the general settings now, and I want to show you some of the different designs that we put together. Here's the same social target, but a little more advanced. And as you can see, my close button's down a little bit, but I've added some text to it. let's go to a coupon offer. And as you can see, this is an old Borders coupon. You could put your own coupon up there. This is an image, and we've used an image map in HTML to make the print coupon portion clickable. Let's go to a Johnson box. This is very basic for subscriptions. Subscribe today for updates. And here they can put in their email address. This particular one is hooked up to Aweber. It's just a demo list. We don't plan on using it. So there's no limit to what you can do and what you can use this for. Now I've changed views, and I wanted to show you some of the examples. You can actually use these are right on the sales page. Let's take a look at example number 1. Okay, here's a page. There's some basic content. This example displays our 3 targets, and if I click +1, you'll notice that it disappears and we come back to the sales page. Now let me go right back down here and go to example 2, and I'll show you a little more advanced example. It loads after 5 seconds. There it is. Alright, now this time, that because it's a different message template, we're seeing it. Maybe I don't want to look at this or do it, so I just click the close button and I can stay with the content. Now let me page back. Number 3 is a very basic Johnson box, and I'm not going to do anything with this. What I'm going to do is pause this until it just times out. Okay, and I'm going to show you that Borders coupon again, and give it 5 seconds. And this is going to display for a total of 10 seconds. If I don't click print the coupon, then what's going to happen is this is just going to close and I can go back to the content. And I'll page back again. Okay, now this one simply uses the thick box to lock everything up. You can't see a darn thing, and it's going to stay that way until you click the like button. So I've already clicked it, so I can't do anything. Let me unlike it and then click like, and there we are. Now I can see that content. So I'm going to go back, and example 6 is a little more advanced because it uses PHP, it reads cookies, and what's going to happen is, since I don't have it set, I'm going to a placeholder page, which you can see right here, and I'm going to tweet about it. There are 3 tweets on this one, so I'll click tweet. I'm going to log in, and I'm going to go tweet. Whoops, I already said that, so I'm stuck. And I'm going to change it, and I'm going to write test, and then I'm going to tweet. Now I'm done, and now you can see I am on a different page, and this page, which was locked using WP LikeMe, is now available to me for the next 30 days until my cookie expires. That pretty much wraps it up. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch my little video, and I hope you enjoy using WP LikeMe.